Greetings, seeker of forgotten tides. In this quiet moment between two breaths, allow me to open a doorway in your memory, one that leads to oceans that no map remembers, and to a civilization whose name is spoken not by history books, but by the hidden pulse of your own heart. Part 1. The Whisper Beneath the Waves. Long before pyramids cast their first shadows, and long before starlight was trapped in glass, there was a luminous realm many now call Lamria, a cradle of crystalline cities that shimmered like moonlight on still water. Those who walked its alabaster shores carried within them an effortless song, a frequency so pure that flowers bent toward their footsteps and whales altered their migrations to swim beside their boats. A traveler arriving today would have seen no temples of conquest, no walls of defense, only concentric gardens spiraling outward from grand halls of vibration where silence itself was tuned like a golden harp. And yet, even in that soft perfection, Lamria's people sensed the fragile heartbeat of impermanence. They foresaw tides in the fabric of the earth, ripples of molten sorrow that would one day pull their continent beneath the waves. Some wept, some prayed. Most simply listened to the ocean, to the sky, and to the quiet voice inside them that had never spoken in words. Imagine a twilight gathering on those final evenings. Elders robed in deep azure, children crowned with petals of living light, and in the center a single obsidian mirror taller than any tree. One by one, they pressed a palm to its surface, imprinting soul codes that would drift through centuries until they found bodies like yours, like mine. They called this ritual the seeding. It was not about survival of flesh, but survival of wisdom. The physics of compassion, the geometry of harmony, the mathematics of breath. When the quaking came, first as a tremor of air, then as a roar of overturned mountains, they did not howl against fate. They released themselves like lanterns, trusting the current of reincarnation to scatter their light across future ages. Some of that light landed in India, birthing rishis who could hear the thoughts of rivers. Some flickered in Egypt, guiding architects who aligned stone to Orion with a precision modern lasers still envy. The brightest embers nested in the Pacific, where Polynesian navigators steered by stars that their charts swore did not exist. And a precious few, dear listener, found their way into the soft chambers of your own heart. That is why the name Lamria stirs a longing you cannot explain. You are not remembering fiction. You are feeling the gravitational pull of your own soul's ancestry. How do you verify such an inheritance? You do not. Verification is for passports and laboratory glass. Ancestry of spirit is measured in resonance. When you place bare feet on moss and feel it breathe back, that is resonance. When a stranger's tears rise unbidden in your own eyes, that is resonance. When you step into a crowded room and taste storms of emotion before a single word is spoken, that too is resonance. These are not quirks of personality. They are signatures of Lamrian coding spiraling in your DNA's liquid crystals. Science will catch up, perhaps in 3 decades, perhaps in 3 lifetimes, when microscopes grow brave enough to photograph consciousness itself. Until then, you have only one instrument delicate enough to prove the unseen, your intuition. Tonight, before sleep claims you, try this. Lie on your back and imagine an ocean whose waves glow the color of midnight sapphires. Hear them without your ears. Feel them circle your rib cage. On the 7th breath, whisper inwardly, "If I am of Lamria, let the waters answer." You may feel a warmth behind the sternum, or a vertigo like descending into deep water. You may dream of cities built from sound, or perhaps nothing will happen, nothing you notice at least. But threads will have been tugged in the invisible tapestry connecting you to the seeding, and future synchronicities will bloom accordingly. Do not rush them. Lamrian wisdom has never obeyed clocks. It arrives the way moonlight arrives in a courtyard. It simply appears, revealing edges you thought were shadows. In the months ahead, you might find yourself inexplicably drawn to turquoise stones, to seashell spirals, to books about energy healing you once dismissed as fanciful. Pay attention. These are breadcrumbs leading back to the halls of vibration where your soul first learned its song. And when skepticism whispers, because skepticism is the loyal guard dog of the rational mind, honor it, thank it, then remind it that some stories are too ancient to sign with ink. They sign themselves with the tides of your own longing. This is only the threshold of our journey. In part 2, we will walk through the 7 veils of recognition, those subtle, startling moments in modern life that expose Lamrian ancestry like phosphorescence disturbed by ores at night. For now, let the notions settle like fine sand in a tide pool. Do not label it true or false, simply let it be. Part 2, the 7 veils of recognition. If you've read this far, something ancient within you has already stirred. That stirring is not random. It is the first whisper of remembrance awakening beneath your skin. But Lamrian memory does not return in great waves. It returns in flickers, like moonlight blinking through clouds. It hides behind ordinary moments, waiting for your quiet attention. And so, to help you see with the eyes beneath your eyes, we shall now lift the 7 veils of recognition, the subtle signs that your soul remembers what your mind cannot. Veil 1, the ache of belonging nowhere. You have felt it, haven't you? That aching sense that you do not quite belong to this century, this culture, this pace of life. Even surrounded by loved ones, there is a subtle emptiness, like a song missing its final note. This is not depression. It is not alienation. It is the grief of exile from a place your mouth cannot name, but your bones still remember. Lamrian souls often incarnate into modern times with this dislocation. It is the soul's echo of the collapse. You are not lost. You are seated. Veil 2, untrained knowing. You pick up a crystal and know how to use it. You walk into a space and immediately sense its history. You place your hands on someone's shoulders and they begin to cry, unprompted. No one taught you these things. They are not talents. They are echoes of encoded knowledge, vibrations your soul carried from Lamria. In that world, healing was not an art but a language. Vibration was not a concept but a sense, like sight or touch. If this knowing arises untrained, honor it. You are remembering. Veil 3, emotion as revelation. You cry when watching waves crash, not from sadness but recognition. You weep when you see ancient spirals carved into stone or hear songs sung in forgotten tongues. These are not sentimental reactions. They are soul reactions. The body weeps when it cannot find words. Lamrian souls react to resonance, not logic. Let the tears come. They are evidence of your map reactivating. Veil 4, unusual dreams. You may dream of floating cities, glowing libraries, beings of light with faces you trust instantly. Or you may dream of drowning, fleeing, sinking with peace in your chest. Lamrian memory often surfaces through dreams because the logical mind is quiet. Do not dismiss these dreams. Record them. Some are not dreams, they are downloads. Veil 5, sensitivity to disharmony. Crowded malls, violent news, fluorescent lights. They don't just bother you, they assault you. You feel tightness in your chest, a fog in your mind. Lamrian souls were accustomed to resonance and harmony. Our modern world often clangs like broken bells. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is a relic of your original calibration. Protect it. It is your tuning fork. Veil 6, drawn to the ocean and the sky. You are soothed by water. Longing rises in your chest when you stare at the sea. You find silence not in walls but under stars. These are elemental calls. Lamria was surrounded by endless ocean. Its knowledge was sky-mapped and wave-carved. The sea remembers your breath. The stars remember your thoughts. You are not just looking, you are being called. Veil 7, a silent mission. You may not be able to articulate it, but something inside you insists you are here for a reason. Not a job, not a title, but a quiet mission. Perhaps to heal, perhaps to speak light into shadows, perhaps just to walk gently through the world and plant frequencies with your presence. Lamrian souls often reincarnate during times of great planetary transition. You are not late. You are right on time. If these veils stir something in you, then do not rush to figure it out. This is not a puzzle to solve. It is a melody to hum beneath your breath as you walk through this lifetime. You are not here to rebuild Lamria. You are here to embody it, to be the soft breath of that ancient world exhaled into this one. Part 3, the art of returning. The moment you realize you may carry Lamrian light, a question flickers. How do I live that truth in a world of traffic jams and calendar alerts? The answer is not to renounce the century, but to lace it with the frequency of the oceans that once sang your name. In Lamria, practice was never separate from life. Breathing itself was a ceremony. To weave that remembrance into modern hours, begin with 3 gateways: water, crystal, geometry. Water is the oldest archive on Earth. Fill a bowl with spring or rainwater. At dawn, place both hands above the surface and speak, not aloud, but through feeling, the intention to soften back into your original song. Watch for tiny ripples that appear without wind. That is resonance acknowledging your request. Sip one palmful, letting it coat tongue and throat like liquid starlight. The rest pour onto soil. Lamrians taught that an intention only completes when it returns to earth. Repeat 7 dawns. You will notice dreams lengthening in skin, remembering tides, holding moisture longer than before. Crystal is condensed geometry. Seek a clear quartz or, if destiny smiles, a Lamurian seed crystal with ladder-like ridges. At twilight, hold it to the fading sun until the stone warms, then press its tip against the heartbeat at your wrist. Whisper the syllable, Sha-El-Nai, an ancient Lamrian code meaning light that climbs. Feel a subtle pulse echo back. That is the lattice inside the crystal responding to the iron in your blood. Place the stone under your pillow. Over weeks it will tutor your dreams, teaching through images rather than words. Should you wake with foreign songs in mind, hum them. Humming completes the lesson. Geometry is the language all matter understands. Draw imperfectly is fine, a 7-loop spiral on parchment. Each loop stands for a realm of consciousness, Lamrians navigated daily. Trace the spiral with your finger while breathing in for 4 counts and out for 6. After 3 rounds, place the parchment over your chest for 2 minutes. Some feel heat, some cold, some nothing. All are responses. Burn the paper safely, releasing carbon to sky and ash to earth. The spiral's message is now stored in the atoms of your body. Paper is only the envelope. After you establish these gateways, life will begin to answer with synchronicities. Strangers mentioning lost continents, seashells showing up on doorsteps far from shore, numbers repeating in 7s. Treat each as a breadcrumb, not a destination. Lamrian wisdom arrives sideways, like moonbeams sliding through curtains. Yet practice alone is skeleton without flesh. The flesh is service. Lamrian souls incarnate not to collect feathers of mystical experience, but to steady the collective vibration. Your everyday kindness, a sincere compliment, a quiet act of environmental care, broadcasts frequencies stronger than group meditations done without heart. Remember, in Lamria, a gardener's laugh was considered a healing modality. Let your tasks become tuning forks. Wash dishes while blessing the water that will re-enter rivers. Send emails as if each word plants calm in the reader's nervous system. Gradually, the boundary between spiritual practice and daily life will dissolve, leaving only resonance. Lastly, protect your sensitivity without armoring your heart. Think of yourself as a seashell that can hear ocean tremors miles away. A shell does not shut itself, it situates itself wisely among gentle sands, not under pounding engines. Curate your inputs. Less fluorescent news, more starlight. Fewer arguments, more silence. Music tuned to 432 Hz or pure nature tones. Sensitivity is your oldest compass. Keep it polished. If doubt arises, and it will, because planet Earth loves to test conviction, revisit water, crystal, geometry. They are the trinity key that unlocks memory until the day you no longer need reminders because you have become the reminder for others. Part 4, the river of integration. You have remembered. You have practiced. Now comes the most delicate part of the journey, not awakening, but integrating. Many seekers believe the soul's work is about rising, ascending, escaping. Lamrian wisdom teaches the opposite. True mastery is in descending with grace into the body, into relationships, into the earth, and letting that ancient light live through you. This is where many falter. They chase visions in meditation, but resist dishwashing. They speak of vibration, but curse the cashier. The final veil is not spiritual, it is ordinary. It is the moment you bring sacredness into the mundane. Integration means becoming the bridge between star and soil, between knowing and acting, between memory and embodiment. So how does one live as a Lamrian soul in the modern world? You begin by seeing your life not as yours, but as a vessel through which frequencies move. Every conversation is a transmission. Every breath is a tuning. Every silence a teaching. You become transparent to what wants to move through you, not as a hollow void, but as a clear riverbed letting light bend through its current. This begins in relationships. Not all people around you will understand your path, and they do not need to. You are not here to convince, but to radiate. Some will be drawn to your stillness, others may feel discomfort around it. Bless both. The soul remembers by example, not by persuasion. Speak less, listen more. When someone vents pain, do not fix, hold. Your presence is the healing. Lamrian hearts know that space, not advice, is what transforms. Let your nervous system become a sanctuary others unconsciously enter. In work, infuse your tasks with intention. If you are an artist, encode frequencies in form. If you are a teacher, bless each student silently. If you are a cleaner, speak prayers into the water. Lamrians knew that the soul of a civilization is hidden in how its people do the small things. As you deepen, you may be called to gather with others. These are not grand events, but quiet magnetisms. You'll find yourself meeting people who speak without words, whose eyes feel familiar. Do not rush to define the group. Let it be what it is, a resonant field. In such gatherings, practice coherence, breathing together, sitting in silence, drawing sacred symbols, or simply sharing presence. When grief arises, as it surely will, for the more you remember, the more you mourn what was lost, honor it. Do not chase joy as proof of progress. Sometimes the deepest sign of alignment is tears falling for a home you barely remember. Grief is not the end of remembrance, it is the gatekeeper. And what of the future? Lamrian souls often carry visions of what humanity could become. You may feel these as dreams, as technological designs, as systems of education, healing, or governance that no one has built yet. You are not imagining them, you are remembering them. The world needs more than reform, it needs resonance. And you are here not to impose a blueprint, but to hum the tone of what's possible until it catches in the hearts of others. Think of yourself as a tuning fork, walking silently through the cities of forgetfulness, leaving trails of vibration behind. Finally, remember, you are not alone. You never were. There are millions like you, some aware, some just awakening, each carrying fragments of the original harmony. As more of us remember and embody, we form a global choir, not one of sound, but of frequency. Together, we do not rebuild Lamria, we become it. And that, dear soul, is the river of integration. You do not have to swim upstream, just flow.